Problem number 18 is r squared equals 2 sine of 2 theta. So this one's a little bit weird to graph, but we're going to approach it the same way for now. We're just going to make our chart, we're going to find our zeros. So if I set r squared equal to 0, I can still find that sine 2 theta should be equal to 0. So sine is 0 at 0, pi, 2 pi. And then theta, if I divide all these by 2, that'll give me my result. So I have 0, pi over 2, and pi. So the way I'm going to graph this in this case is that if I take the square root of this, technically I could have both a positive and a negative root in this case. So r is technically equal to square root of 2 sine of 2 theta, and I'm not going to drop r underneath it, negative square root of 2 sine of 2 theta. So technically what we're going to do is we're going to graph both roots at the same time using the same values, and that should get us our shape. And this comes from the fact that if I square either one of these, I get right back to the same result. So remember, if I take the square root of something, I have both a positive and a negative root associated with it. And these are these two roots in this case. So I have my zeros. I have 0, pi over 2, and I have pi. So I'm just going to populate it with some spots in between. Pi over 4 should be a good choice. And I'll also put in 3 pi over 4. So when I plug in 0, I know that I already get 0. Pi over 4, I end up getting sine of 2 times pi over 4. That's sine of pi over 2, so that's 1. So I end up getting square root of 2 and negative square root of 2 for my corresponding points. Pi over 2, I end up getting 0 for both of them. 3 pi over 4, I end up getting the same thing in this case. I end up getting sine of 3 pi over 2. So I end up getting root 2, negative root 2. And pi I end up getting 0. So now let's go ahead and let's plot these points. And we're going to plot these roots at the same time. So at 0, my origin is 0. At pi over 4, I have 2 roots associated with it. So I have square root of 2, square root, and negative square root of 2. So that tells me my value extends out to here. And at the same time, it also extends back out to here. So at pi over 4, I would have the same root, just opposite. Pi over 2, both of these roots come back to 0. So I have my general shape already. And if I go ahead and plot this point again, what I end up finding is that it actually just traces over itself. So there's really no need to actually plot anything further than this. This tells us our overall shape. So if we're looking for the overall shape, answer would be B.
The Teaching Center, UF's Learning Resource Center.